4 is in the books, and with that, a lot of teams are starting to settle into place with where they are, with some teams looking a lot better than they have weeks prior, and others, well, a lot worse. I think this week we have a lot better idea of who's actually going to make the playoffs and who's pretending. These are my winners and losers from week 4.
I'm with my gang, I'm with my goons. Every day we making plays, we making moves.
Heading into the year, I think this was the Ravens team we all thought we were going to see from the jump, but that just didn't quite happen. While I didn't have any concerns for the Ravens with an 0-2 start with losses to the Raiders and the Chiefs, people were starting to ask some questions. The Ravens played the Buffalo Bills, who everybody thought was the best team in the NFL, and they shut them out. King Henry did what kings do and ran all over the Bills' defense with Lamar's passing game complimenting him in the back. Meanwhile, the Ravens' defense shut down Josh Allen, who was an MVP frontrunner heading into the night. While I still think the Ravens can get off to some slow starts when they don't need to be, I think they answered a lot of people's questions about who they are identity-wise and what they can do. And while I don't think Lamar has been playing up to that MVP caliber this year, I don't think he necessarily has to. The Ravens did exactly what they wanted, and with the addition of Derrick Henry, Lamar doesn't have to play superhero every play. And yes, losing Mike Macdonald, the defensive coordinator, hurts. The defense has still been top 10 level, and out of the top AFC contenders, I still believe Baltimore's roster is still the most complete out of everybody's. I think the Ravens are just picking up right where they left off last season, and don't be surprised if you see them getting full head of steam in the weeks coming. With them getting back to 500 with all the momentum on their side and answering critical identity questions, I think the Baltimore Ravens are winners of Week 4.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
As a Patriots fan, nothing warms my heart more than a Dolphins loss every week. I mean, this offense without Tua is absolutely dog shit. The Titans benched Will Levis and still managed to win on a fuck ton of field goals. And with Tyreek Hill melting on the sidelines like a baby, it wasn't really helping his team's cause because, offense didn't do nothing all night. I think the only takeaway we can have from this game is Tua is actually more important than everybody realizes to the Dolphins offense. And right now, their playoff hopes are holding on by a thread, maybe even less. The Dolphins are the only team this entire season did not have a single lead for a single second in 4 games. I like Mike McDaniel's system, but his offense is so catered to Tua that when he's gone, they look like a peewee football team. All the blame can't go to the offense, though. The defense was horrid. Allowing 244 total yards to the 0-3 Tennessee Titans is not a good recipe for success, and they got a lot of questions that need to be answered. So with their starting quarterback out multiple weeks and their offense looking more lifeless than an Aaron Hernandez body, I think the Miami Dolphins are losers of Week 4.
Bouncing off my booty cheeks, I love the way he rides. I can hardly breathe when he's pumping deep inside. I kiss him on his neck and then he kisses on my pussy, call him daddy.
What a disappointing game in terms of, I thought this was going to be a shootout. I knew the Eagles had their struggles in the past weeks, but they just didn't put any fight. And Baker adding to his resume, more solidifying himself as a top MVP candidate. He's just been balling. I think the Buccaneers are back to looking like deep playoff contenders with this win. And with the 49ers not fully healthy, and let's be honest, who knows if they will be this season, their biggest threat in the NFC is the Lions. They put up this many points with Tristan Wirfs out, Antoine Winfield, and a handful of others. If they were fully healthy, this is a serious threat to the NFC. Outside of an ugly loss to the Broncos, they've really cleaned up their act and looked like real Super Bowl contenders. With their next 2 games being the Falcons and Saints, the Bucs could be 4-1 and with a comfortable lead in the top of their division. So with their quarterback balling out at an MVP rate and their defense only going to get better throughout the year, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winners of Week 4.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend.
While the stats don't say it, I think last game was Caleb Williams' best game. In terms of comfortability in the pocket, he looked 100 times better than he has all year. I think the meeting with Luke Getsy went over well because the play calling was a lot better, and just overall the Bears seemed like they were clicking. And yes, the Rams don't have any starters, but that's not the point. A win is a win no matter how it's done. They avoid going 1-3, and if they got 1-3, I think the hole at that point was too deep to dig out of for playoffs. And if you're a Bears fan, you're liking what Caleb is putting on tape. He's been showing a lot more flashes while he hasn't had the big plays like USC. they're going to be there eventually. But they are seeing something that they never have seen with Justin Fields, and that's improvement every week. It's only a matter of time before Caleb's natural game skills take over, and he becomes the player we've seen at USC. The flow of the offense is moving better. The defense is still, I believe, top 10. And they have a strong push to go 9-8, 10-7, looking at that 7 seed if they keep it up. I think all of Chicago is riding behind 18 right now. And for that, I think Caleb Williams is a winner of Week 4.
Easily accessible to get Oxy, Percocet, Vicodin, whatever you wanted.
Did they make sure you weren't playing on that stuff?
No, you play, definitely. Yeah.
Wow. And what, did you ever play on it?
Yeah.
What did you play on?
Percocet.
Holy crap, did this Jets offense look terrible. The whole reason for them trading for Aaron Rodgers was so they could win these kinds of games. I mean, every time they've played a real team, they have gotten, absolutely destroyed. Their 2 wins coming from the Tennessee Titans and the New England Patriots, both not high caliber opponents. I think this team is way too talented to be losing, and after this offensive shutout, basically, Nathaniel Hackett has to be on the hot seat. And if not Nathaniel Hackett, it has to be Robert Saleh, because the fact that your defense holds a team to 10 points and you still lose, there's no way. This game was unbelievably boring, and at one point, Bo Nix had -7 pass yards, and I think that one stat alone just sums up the day for the Jets. The Jets will not make the playoffs, I don't think, and I don't think they'll even be close. If they even want a shot, they have to figure out the offense fast, because it's getting to a point where you're starting to get in a hole with tougher opponents coming up. So with the Jets allowing only 10 points and still losing because of their offense, I think that the Jets are the biggest losers of Week 4.